I remember the first SBFN meeting that I attended, which was held in Lima, Peru. That was in 2015. It was really, for me, a real learning engagement because I was able to see where the others were and where we were as Kenya in terms of our journey towards sustainability. So it then opened our eyes to where we should be heading towards. We, at the KBA, had issued guiding principles, the sustainable finance guiding principles that have guided the banks in terms of how they can walk the journey of balancing between their business objectives vis-a-vis the priorities of the economy, vis-a-vis the social and economic, the environmental priorities. At the KBA, we have been able to bring up the Sustainable Finance Initiative. An e-learning platform was created. We have been able to reach up to 36,000 bank employees who have now learned how to balance between the economy, the environment, and between the society as they carry out their day-to-day activities in the bank. We played quite a significant role in terms of developing the Green Bond Program. We have got the Kenya Green Bond Program, where KBA has partnered with other stakeholders within the finance framework. And we have helped the CMA, for example, come up with the framework to guide the issuance of listed and unlisted green bonds in the market. Climate risk is going to be a very critical risk in terms of our banking activities, our financing activities. And by the regulator moving that step and trying to bring it to the level where banks need to put at the forefront of their credit analysis so that climate risk is taken as part of the risk that needs to be assessed, mitigated, and reported on was a very critical step. Now, as KBA, what we have done is we are supporting our member banks to be able to comply with the guidelines that have been put in by the central bank. And of course, it's aligned to our Sustainable Finance Initiative. So everything seems to be finally coming into place. One of the key risks that we face is the transition risk. I think that is a major challenge. The landscape is evolving quite rapidly. That's where I think SBFN becomes in quite strongly, because then that's the opportunity for banks to leverage on each other, to learn from each other, to share information. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, there are those who are well ahead. Then there are those countries that are a little bit almost like stuck in the middle, where Kenya, for example, are with a number of other countries. And then there are those who are still at the starting stage. Now, this is an opportunity for all these groups to actually join together and help each other. As we move forward, I think the kind of resources that will be required for us to manage this climate crisis will be quite significant. There are a number of estimates, like, for example, I think the OECD has given an estimate of almost $90 trillion in terms of what will be required for the global investment to walk this journey. That's a significant amount of money. Raising those resources on the various platforms will be quite a challenge, but it can be done. It's only that together, when we know where we need to go, how much resources we need to raise, then we can position ourselves to be able to raise on the market. So things like, for example, trying to get the right investors who have got the right appetite for the kind of investments you're looking for, who have got an appetite for investing in the green finance area. I think that will be critical.